You know, I was sitting down thinking about the Dodge because it hasn't been running for a week due to an electrical issue, but I finally got it running, and I've been thinking if I actually want to drive this thing a lot, I have to solve the blow-by issue. Because not only does it leak oil from the oil pan and the head, it has an insane amount of oil blow-by because the piston rings, I believe, are seized. But what we're going to do is a compression test to see, well, if they are seized or not. Which actually, I made a video on Queen and Andy, the channel that me and my sister made originally, on how to do a compression test. So I'll link it down in the description below. I've taken the spark plugs out before, but the only thing I do remember is that I was using the bigger ratchet. What's the number? No, I can't remember. I think it's 1/4 inch, something like that. But I can't exactly remember which size socket I was using. So let me actually, if I put that down, and we'll just do number 1 at first. And you know what would probably be smart is if I disconnected. What? No, I wanted that part disconnected. And then, yeah, this is fun. Hold on, I gotta make sure this is the right size. Alrighty, so we go in there. Definitely not the right size. It is way too big for that spark plug slot, so let's go find the right one. I know somebody might actually say, well, why don't you just get the spark plug sockets? And you're right. Why don't I do that? But the answer is I'm not going to. Alrighty, so does this one fit? It does, and it's the right size. So size 21, millimeter 21. I'm gonna say that in the video, that way I can look back at the video and remember that. So we're gonna go ahead and pop that spark plug off. Damn, how tight are these? Isn't it supposed to be like a snug fit or something? But it's like, it takes a lot of force. Of course I'm doing this one-handed, but it's okay. Engine still runs, so. What I'm trying to do now is take the spark plug out without touching it because it's actually a little hot in there. Because I had the engine running earlier today. You know what? I bet it's fine. No, it's not. That's hot. Ow. But anyways, so right here, if we put it up to the light, that's that looks like a very rich mixture. Well, actually, I have a Haynes manual that tells me exactly what this means. So if we open up to the back of the page, we are looking for, oh, okay, that makes sense then. See here, because a rich, oh wait, I guess it doesn't say if it's rich or not. I guess if it looks normal, it's also rich. But yeah, this looks like our oil deposit. So we're definitely having a lot of blow-by in there in cylinder number 1. And I guarantee you it's the same for the other cylinders, but we'll check in a little bit. Alrighty, but I have this compression tester right here. And I believe that goes into the slot. Yeah, so you got these different adapters right here, which then screw onto this part, and then that attaches to your hose right there. Now, it would have been smart to probably look at the video I made a few years back about how to do a compression test, but we're going to assume we know what we're doing. And hopefully this will screw in like we need it to. I believe it is. Hold on. It very much was so. So let's hook up the compression tester and turn over the engine without any type of spark. The question is, did I actually do it right? Which I need the keys. Now, the grand question is, did I actually do it right? So we see it right there. I had him first. Alrighty, now let's try it again. Alrighty, so we check. It should show some type of number, and it doesn't because that's not tied on there. Well, I gotta give myself props when I was younger. Back then I was called Andy on me and my sister's channel, and I was good at it. But clearly I don't know what I'm doing now. I do have the right type of adapter on it, and I was trying to check to make sure, oh, do I need a partner here to tell me what the pressure is? Like, does it go down immediately? Which actually maybe it does, but I don't know. Like, I have no clue, so yeah. Maybe I should use that brain that I had back then. No, I honestly don't really know what could be going on. I'm going through my mind and I'm like, maybe it's possible that I'm losing immediate pressure due to the seized rings, but then also that wouldn't make sense because it's a whole pressurized system past, down below the head. And I have an oil leak in the head, but that shouldn't do anything. I should still get a reading because it shows you your maximum compression. And clearly I ain't getting any. So what I'm gonna do is try again. All right, what is going on here? I'm getting some type of pressure, but I'm getting nothing. So now let's test out another cylinder to see what we're getting. Alrighty, so as you can see, this is from cylinder number 2. That's what we're gonna call it. And it has the same story with the oil deposits if it'll ever focus in. Move back to improve focus, but I am moved back. Either way. So it's got large oil deposits on it as well. And we're gonna test the compression of that one. Holy smokes. Cylinder number 1 has no freaking compression because this thing is up at 100 and we'll say 40. Let me look up and make sure that that's right. According to Google, around 150, which is literally what we have. So cylinder number 2 is fine, but cylinder number 1 is not. Let's test the other cylinders while we're at it. Alrighty, so this spark plug on cylinder number 3 is, I can tell you that it has oil deposits because that thing's covered in oil. Dang, why can't it just like focus in on me? There we go. Yeah, that thing's just covered in oil. And then, of course, the deposit, that's just oiled up. So it's just compression of that one. So little Andy, little Michael was actually correct. And I was too. But because if you don't have any compression in any others in a cylinder and you're not getting anything, then, you must think that you did it wrong or something. Alrighty, in cylinder number 3, same story. Actually, the exact same pressure as cylinder number 2. So I guarantee you that that's the default pressure that comes with the age of the engine. Considering the fact that the 2 other spark plugs on cylinder number 2 and 3, I didn't have to use all my body weight to get loose, probably means that this one might be low on compression as well. To my disbelief, this one actually looks good. Like the other 2, except for cylinder number 3, number 1. And also, come to think about it, we have extreme blow-by going through the intake, and I guarantee you that's what is getting the threads all oily and everything. Now, contrary to my own words, that thing is pushing the same amount of compression as cylinder number 3 and cylinder number 2. Now, cylinder number 1 has 0 compression. It might have 1 PSI and that's it. So what I'm going to do is go to the store, grab some Marvel Mystery Oil, and we'll let it sit in there overnight. Alrighty, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that parking brake off, put it out of gear. And then for now, I don't feel like plugging in the coils again. We're just going to roll it like this. Oh, don't push in the plastic. Oh, wait, that fixed it. Oh, that's wonderful. And we're just going to move it to right there. Perfect. And then we'll put the parking brake on and put it back in gear. And, see here, parking brake in gear. Oh, grab my keys. That's right. That's probably a smart thing to do. And then we'll close the hood and go get some Marvel Mystery Oil. Alrighty, so I got the good stuff. And while I was out, I was like, I might as well get a big thing of it because I don't know how much I'll need. And I haven't really looked up on the internet yet. Plus, also, this stuff is, well, it's marvelous and it's mystery. I mean, you can put this thing in anything and it'll run perfectly fine afterwards. So I'm back at the shop. I got the Marvel Mystery Oil and we're gonna put it in piston number 1. And I watched a video like for 30 seconds on how to do this, and they didn't really specify a real amount, just put enough in there. So that's what I'm gonna do. But first we gotta take out the spark plug before we do that. Alrighty, so for this, I'm gonna try to undo, oh wait, I need 2 hands. I don't understand this. Okay, well, so I partially understand it, but why do you have this thing? Like, yeah. Now I gotta find something to pop it with. I'll just... Oh wow, that's actually like really hard plastic. What the heck? We're gonna stab it with the screwdriver. Oh no, I gotta use 2 hands. Worked out phenomenally. So essentially, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour the Marvel Mystery using a funnel down into the piston. And so what it does is as it runs down along the piston rings, it's gonna easily lubricate them. And then it's gonna do some Marvel Mystery stuff. And it's supposed to help get the piston rings unstuck. But I have no clue what the issue is. But this is the easiest and cheapest way at the moment to figure out maybe how to fix it, like if it will fix it. Alrighty, so we have the Marvel Mystery Oil right here. And we're gonna pour down what I think might be a good amount. So let's get on to it. And also, like, if anybody has actual, like, really good suggestions for this, like how much to put in maybe, and what maybe to use if this doesn't work, please do comment it down below because I'm learning and I'm open to anything, really. This is a learning project for me. It's the best schooling that I can get for cheap. Well, not cheap, but it's a fun way of learning. So I'm gonna pour, make sure that it's not leaking out of anywhere. It ain't, all right. So we're gonna put maybe, I don't know, that much. So it's gonna sit in between the piston rings now and on top of the cylinder. I have a flashlight on my phone, and let me see if I can see that with the flashlight. Alrighty, so we're looking inside that cylinder, and I guess you can't really see very easily into that thing, but I can see the Marvel Mystery Oil. It's slightly, it's just, it's sitting in there. So we're gonna let that cook overnight. Now that I got the spark plug back into the hole, I'm gonna let that sit overnight without cranking the engine or anything like that. But in the meantime, there are some things that I do want to discuss. First being the oil pan gasket. The oil pan gasket is completely screwed over because of me. I over tightened it originally and it ruined the gasket, so there's oil leaking from there constantly. When the engine's running, even when it's not, because you have the oil that drains along the side of the cylinder wall. So it's causing major oil leakage there. I also have a major oil leak in the head. Now, it's not towards the front of the engine, it's towards the back near the transmission, because you'll see all this oil on the back of the transmission. Let me actually show you. So as you can see right there, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a brown liquid that covers the transmission right there, and it's wet, which is not good. Plus also I have a leak coming from my heater core area right there. You can see where the water's been leaking. Now I did change this to a actual radiator fluid, 50-50, not a premix, just concentrate and water into it and it cools fine. But yeah, so I got an oil leak back there, but other than that, I don't really know where else I'm leaking oil. I can tell you that I am leaking a little bit of water right here near my water pump. And this is all because it's a learning process and it was my first time, and it was probably a gasket that got messed up. And I didn't really buy the most expensive gaskets either. The reason for that is because I wasn't even sure if this thing was gonna run. Plus also I was going for cheap. I had to save my money and everything. And now that it's running, I should probably fix some of those issues, considering the fact that it's $71 each time I change my oil, which is pretty constantly because I lose oil pressure pretty easily because there's no oil. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the morning bright and early.